Seven Chinese nationals have just been caught red-handed trying to sneak into Guam during a US missile test. Talk about terrible timing. These wannabe spies clearly missed the memo on stealth operations. Arriving by boat during a missile test. That's about as subtle as showing up to a ninja convention wearing neon and ringing cowbells. The US Missile Defense Agency was conducting a critical interception test on December 10th, 2024, showcasing their fancy new toys designed to keep Guam safe from pesky incoming missiles. They were testing the Standard Missile 3 Block 2A, capable of intercepting medium-range ballistic missiles, travelling at speeds that would make your head spin. Meanwhile, our Chinese friends thought it was the perfect time for a tropical getaway. Customs officials found 4 of them lurking suspiciously close to Andersen Air Force Base. I'm sure they were just admiring the scenery, right? But wait, there's more. These 7 individuals apparently coordinated their ill-fated island hop from Saipan. One even shelled out $10,000 for the privilege of being arrested. Talk about a vacation gone wrong. They might have just won an all-expenses-paid extended stay at the luxurious Guam Detention Center, complete with complimentary orange jumpsuits and a view of, well, more orange jumpsuits. Now, let's look at the bigger picture, shall we? Guam isn't just a tropical paradise, it's Uncle Sam's pineapple-shaped aircraft carrier in the Pacific. Situated just 2,700 miles from China, it's prime real estate for keeping an eye on our friends across the pond. The US is planning to pump $10 billion into turning this island into a veritable fortress. They're installing a fancy new air and missile defense network across 16 sites because nothing says economic stimulus like a multi-billion-dollar missile defense system. Who needs tourism when you've got torpedoes? General I.M. Watchful, a totally real person I just made up, stated, "We're just making sure our pineapple stays fresh and unbruised. Can't have any unwanted fingers poking at our fruit salad, if you know what I mean." I'm not entirely sure I do, General, but it sounds delicious and vaguely threatening. The Institute for the Study of War, always ready with a catchy soundbite, warns that espionage against US military facilities could provide China with potentially valuable intelligence. Well, colour me shocked. Who would have thought spying on missile launch sites could be useful? It's almost as if these arrests happened during a time of rising tensions between the US and China. Oh wait, they did. Just a month ago, on November 15th, the US was flexing its military muscles with large-scale missile tests in the Pacific. Not to be outdone, China decided to throw its own party near Taiwan on October 1st, with military exercises that had everyone on edge. It's like a very expensive, very dangerous game of anything you can do, I can do better. Next thing you know, they'll be competing to see who can build the biggest sandcastle, made of depleted uranium. But let's not forget the real victims here, the poor, overworked border control agents of Guam. How are they supposed to build a wall in the middle of the ocean? Perhaps they could take a page from the Chamorro people, the indigenous population of Guam, and use coconuts and palm fronds. I'm sure that would be just as effective against determined spies and missiles alike. The Chamorro, by the way, are reportedly taking bets on whether the increased military presence or rising sea levels will submerge their island first. Talk about a win-win situation. In all seriousness, my friends, this incident highlights the ongoing chess game, or should I say missile command game, between the US and China in the Pacific. The US is busy installing cutting-edge radar systems and missile interceptors, while China is reportedly developing hypersonic missiles capable of saying boo to traditional defense systems. These hypersonic missiles are like the Usain Bolt of the weapons world, so fast that by the time you've spotted them, they've already crossed the finish line and are sipping a victory smoothie. The Chinese government's response to these arrests has been about as vocal as a mime convention. Apparently, they're taking the see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil approach to international diplomacy. Meanwhile, the people of Guam are probably wondering if all this military tech will interfere with their beach time. Local wildlife are reportedly applying for visas to less militant islands, with the coconut crabs leading the exodus. As for the economic impact, nothing says paradise quite like the constant hum of missile defense systems, right? The $10 billion investment is set to create jobs, boost the local economy, and give tourists a unique opportunity to vacation under the watchful eye of state-of-the-art radar systems. Move over, beach resorts. The hot new attraction in Guam is missile interception viewing parties. The Guam Tourism Board is reportedly considering a new slogan: "Come for the beaches, stay for the geopolitical intrigue." The US military isn't just stopping at missile defense. They're going all out with the Aegis Guam system, the AN/TPY-6 radar, and the vertical launching system. The Aegis system is like a very expensive, very patriotic game of whack-a-mole, ready to smack down any incoming threats. The AN/TPY-6 radar is so powerful it can spot a seagull with indigestion from 300 miles away. And the vertical launching system, well, let's just say it puts your 4th of July fireworks to shame. These systems are so advanced, they can detect, track, and intercept incoming threats faster than you can say geopolitical tension. The recent flight experiment Mission 02 successfully intercepted a medium-range ballistic missile, proving that Guam is ready to play ball in the big leagues of missile defense. It's like they're playing a very expensive game of battleship with real ships and potentially world-ending consequences. Fun for the whole family. Meanwhile, China is busy developing hypersonic missiles capable of extreme maneuvers and speeds up to Mach 5. It's like they're trying to break the sound barrier and international relations at the same time. One has to wonder if all this technology is really necessary, or if we're just watching a very expensive game of "my missile is bigger than your missile." Next up, missiles that can make a perfect cup of tea while breaking the sound barrier. As for the 7 arrested Chinese nationals, they've unintentionally become the stars of this international drama. Their backgrounds are as mysterious as their motives, with some reports suggesting they were just looking for better job opportunities. Because nothing says job hunting quite like sneaking onto a heavily militarized island during a missile test, right? Maybe they thought missile technician was the hot new career path. To be fair, it is a growing field. The local reaction in Guam has been a mix of concern and bemusement. One resident was overheard saying, "First, we worry about typhoons. Now we have to worry about Chinese spies? What's next? An invasion of overly enthusiastic tourists?" Another local quipped, "I used to complain about the noise from the airbase. Now I'll be able to tell my grandkids I lived through the Great Missile Defense Symphony of 2024. As we wrap up this riveting tale of espionage, missile defense, and poorly timed vacations, one can't help but marvel at the absurdity of it all. In a world where nations are racing to build bigger, faster, and more destructive weapons, perhaps we should take a moment to step back and ask ourselves, wouldn't it be nice if we could all just get along? Or at least agree to cap our missiles at a sensible Mach 2. But until that day comes, my friends, we'll be here, bringing you the latest in this high-stakes game of international one-upmanship. Remember, in the world of newscats, the truth is often stranger and funnier than fiction. And if you enjoyed this Missile Ennius news, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe faster than a hypersonic warhead. Your support keeps us afloat in these turbulent geopolitical waters. In conclusion, as we watch the US and China engage in this elaborate dance of missiles and counter-missiles, one thing is clear. The Pacific is becoming more crowded than a rush-hour subway, with everyone and their spy trying to get a piece of the action. Will these arrests lead to diplomatic fallout? Will China retaliate by banning pineapple imports? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure. In the game of international relations, sometimes the best strategy is to sit back, relax, and enjoy a nice cup of tea while watching the chaos unfold. Just make sure that tea isn't made with seawater from Guam's.